All right. Season 4, episode 3.
Cocktailsandkimonos.com. Funny assholes chit-chatting.
Is that what the slogan is?
The slogan is.
So this is season 4, episode 3. Was that 18 deep?
18 deep. I didn't think I was going to make it this long.
Trying to wrangle you over here is like pulling teeth now.
Did you just burp as you were talking?
No,
Is that what happened?
my chair creaked. So we still have this garbage furniture.
Speaking of wrangling in to get the podcast started, what time is it?
8:37. 8:38.
What was the agreed upon time to start the podcast? Latest that you agreed on?
And I had said 7:30.
It's 8:38.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck you.
Just sit back and enjoy the show.
What were you doing in that time?
I was sitting in my car in front of your apartment. Swear to
Sucks.
God.
Yeah, I would have been. I'm surprised you weren't sending more frequent angry texts.
Well, I mean, I was Facebooking on my phone and whatnot.
Do you have somewhere to be tonight?
No. I'm
What's
going kayaking tomorrow morning.
So you kind of what's your curfew tonight?
I mean, I want to get home by 10:30.
Why? Because you get yelled at if you're later?
Yeah, my roommate will yell at me.
No. That's
What?
not what I'm talking about.
What?
What's your curfew? That's what
I
I'm
don't
saying.
have
Is
a
it's
curfew. I don't have a
impossible,
curfew.
impossible to get you to do the podcast.
I live
Since-
far away from you. Like we were supposed to have a new studio. You dropped the ball on that, and
It wasn't. I did not drop the ball.
Gromit's pissed, by the way, about the studio.
What's
the
he
lack
saying?
of. I mean,
What's he getting into?
tweet after tweet about the quality of the podcast not being up to par.
All right, we'll have to pick it up. So I just had my 10-year college reunion. I didn't go, but because of Facebook, you don't need to go anywhere anymore. Like literally,
That's
I looked
true.
at the pic. A bunch of different people posted their pictures of the reunion, and I'm like, yeah, I get it.
And
I felt like I went. I get it. I get to see what everyone looks. You go there just to see what everyone looks like.
now this is
That's why you go.
your high school reunion.
10-year college reunion.
Wow, it's been a decade since you've been at college.
It's insane.
Wow.
It doesn't feel like that.
Now, where is it again?
Ithaca, New York.
Ithaca, and you went to
Cornell.
Cornell U.
Yeah.
So, did you see anything in the pictures that? Did you miss out on anything? Really? Did you?
No. No. You know what it looked a little bit like? Just a lot of people trying to relive their youth, but like with kind of like half-hearted smiles because it wasn't as fun as it used to be. Like you know.
Is there anybody you hated that you saw having just a great time and you were like,
No, nobody was having a great time in any of the pictures. Like you could just see it was everyone kind of desperately grasping at straws, and just you could see a little bit of sadness. Like I used to like all these people more. This used to be way more fun.
See, I haven't gone to any of my reunions.
Me neither.
I'm just too successful, and I don't want to like make everybody mad. But like I always feel like it's just it's just like a battle of like what you've done with your life. Like you drive up in a nice car, you rent a nice BMW.
I know.
You like
Yeah.
you rent a sweet Armani suit.
But you also were not. I'm assuming you were not particularly well liked in school.
No, I was kind of a bully.
Really?
And, yeah, I mean, well, a little bit. I mean, I hung out with a lot of people, stoners, and
But also you were
we had our
heavy.
own clique.
You were heavy into drugs. In
No,
high
not-
school, you were burnout. Kind of
Not
a
a
scumbag.
burnout. I mean, I smoked pot a little bit. Obviously, I drank a lot. I mean, I was one.
Yeah,
you
but
know.
that's cool though, man.
No, I know that's the socially acceptable method of being an outcast in high school.
But you weren't all that popular.
I was my senior year. I had a lot of friends because I started working out really hard and got a lot of confidence. and
Right.
you legit will gain like 90% of your friends when you at those spurts where you're working out.
I know.
Because you're just like,
Well, because you feel outgoing too.
yeah.
As opposed to when you're just in an eaten phase.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
just feel disgusting about yourself. And
I mean-
just stare at the ground when you walk by people.
Did you see the one about the 22-year-old part-time cheerleading coach in Indiana? She gave a blowjob to one of the 17-year-old dudes in a
No.
parking lot in Indiana.
Oh my god.
And
How
they're
psyched was that kid?
dude, they're pursuing the case, and I'm like, he's 17, she's 22. Like,
I know.
it's not like you're gonna waste this like taxpayer money on pursuing this
Listen,
case.
What are you arresting her for? Just the fact that she's a loser?
I know. It's
Like, is that a crime?
by the way, she's real attractive.
No way.
Swear to God.
What is this
Swear
kid,
to
like the
God.
coolest kid ever? Is he like,
He must be.
he's like the Fonz?
Well, it's
I need to see what this boy looks like.
there's no picture
If
of the boy.
If she's attractive, he's the coolest kid that's ever lived.
Dude, I mean, here's the thing though. You want to know
And
what,
anyone who has a problem with that is an idiot.
you want to know what sickens me is that they took
What you see in the mirror?
well, every day that sickens me, but
Sure. The indentation,
right now
the indentation you leave in seats that you sit
in this room, what I'm looking at right now, it disgusts me that the Huffington Post went on to her Instagram page and made a slideshow of all the pictures they grabbed off of it. And like one of them's just this guy grabbing her tits and her hands are over his. And it's like, oh man, like if you go on anybody's shit and grab all their pictures, you're going to find some ones that can relate to the case that you're fucking being charged at, or charged with.
Yeah. It's kind of what happened with Casey Anthony, except she actually was like a filthy pig whore.
Well, and she killed she allegedly killed her kids. Do you think she's guilty? I mean, I know she got acquitted, but...
Yeah, I think she was definitely guilty. There's no question.
Yeah.
She's also like, then she started making up lies saying that her dad had molested her, which everyone was like, whoa, like, that's definitely not true.
I mean, how is she not... Is she in, like, protection? People probably want to kill her, no?
Yeah, she was like, I just saw this thing where she was like, I might as well have just gone to prison because I haven't been outdoors in like 3 months or something.
Ugh.
But that's why you don't kill your kid and dissolve it in the back of your trunk of your car.
Oh, my God.
She
Is that
dissolved
what happened?
the kid. Yeah.
What?
She dissolved the body.
I didn't know. I don't know any of the facts.
Yeah.
I just know that...
I can't remember what she used. But like not formaldehyde, but the opposite of that.
Embalming? No, not embalming.
No, that preserves.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you gotta.
You know what? I'd probably make that mistake if I murdered somebody.
But you saw how Octo-mom has a porn coming out?
Yeah.
Yeah, you saw the little trailer, right?
Yeah.
It's so... Can you post it on the webpage?
Yeah, I'll post it.
Casey Anthony should do a porn. Like, here's the problem. Octo-moms is just... What's it called? Like, getting lonely? Home Alone.
It's like... what is it called?
It's called Home Alone. It's Octo-mom, Home Alone.
It's called Home Alone.
So what's the theme? Like, the kids go out with the sitter to go to Chuck E. Cheese for the day, and she's just home alone, like, masturbating in every different room in the house?
I'm just assuming there's no plot whatsoever.
There's no man in it. It's just her.
Yeah.
It's just nudes and masturbation, I believe.
It's like, you know what aggravates me about her is she's so down on her luck financially, and she's got 14 kids, and... blah 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 blah, but yet she has money to get fake lips. I mean, clearly injected with Botox over and over again.
She has like the worst collagen lips I've ever seen.
It's disgusting.
They look like 2 hot dogs bent into U shapes on either side of her mouth.
And her tits are fake too. I mean, it's like, so was that necessary? Like,
she's so gross,
disgusting.
I can't imagine it's gonna sell though, because like I really look at it, I'm like, I just think they missed the mark here. You know what I mean? But
it'll sell.
They should
They
should offer
millions.
Casey Anthony like $3 million to do a full on hardcore with like multiple gangbangs.
She'd do it.
That would sell huge.
Yeah,
you could put that out on pay-per-view and it would be as big as like any boxing match.
Pay-per-view. Now, do they show just hardcore porn on
celebrities
pay-per-view?
getting gangbanged on pay-per-view? So wait, what is your curfew? Because you won't stop picking up your cell phone and texting. So what time is your curfew?
It's not. I don't have one.
Okay, what do you mean you don't have one? Is it?
I can't. I'm having a hard time with you today. You're really low energy, and you're just being shitty.
No, I want to know.
You're being bad. You're being a bad podcaster. You need to fucking step it up a notch.
I need. All you're doing is reading news articles. Stop looking at the internet. Look at the person you're talking to.
But you're not saying anything.
I'm asking you questions.
What is the question?
Do you have a time that you have to be home by or you get in trouble?
No, I thought we already went over this.
But I don't believe you. I don't believe that that's true.
What do you want me to...
Because you're so frantic about starting on time. Now you won't stop checking your cell phone. Clearly, you're
starting on time. I sat in my fucking dented Ford Taurus outside of your apartment for an hour. That wouldn't have made it any fucking better if I had a better car. All right, it would have.
Watching a DVD in the back seat, man. You're off your game a little bit.
I'm glum a little bit today.
Why?
I've just been real lethargic and just kind of shitty all day.
Are you in an eating phase?
I'm in an eating phase for sure. I'm in a fat-faced phase. I haven't worked out. My leg, dude, my wooden leg really was like fucked up for half the day.
Well, because you were working out hard for a little bit and then it got sore.
And it's not sore, like it's sharp pain. It's not like
the wood's splintering off.
Something's splintering. Whether it's the bone or the wood, I don't know.
Do you ever have a moment where you get really pissed about the leg?
No, but I do have moments where I feel trapped in my own body because of the leg.
Yeah, I hear that. Now, it's going to cause you a whole messes of problems when you get older, isn't it?
Well, no, I plan on just having it cut off when I'm like 40.
Just
right?
getting sympathy.
Is that the right move?
Dude, yeah, absolutely. I like where you're thinking. Dude, just get an old school peg, like a pirate peg,
yeah,
and just move down to like Key West
Key
and
West?
just become a drunk.
Dude, I'm telling you,
They'll call you Salty Peter. You live on a sailboat.
Dude, I'm telling you.
It's not a bad idea.
Salty Peter. Why salty? Because I'm glum?
Because you live on a sailboat. And you're glum as shit. They're like, he's really fun, but if you catch him after 3 p.m., he's just going to be angry drunk.
Listen, I would not... If I lived in Key West, I would not be glum. If I lived in Key West with a peg leg, I would not be glum.
Yeah, also, by the way, possible best friend parrot.
Pete the parrot?
Yeah, Pete the parrot. You know you get a pet parrot named Pete? And if we got a pet parrot right now... Mm-hmm. The parrot would definitely outlive us.
Yeah?
Parrots live like 60 to 70 years.
I know. And they're very loud and obnoxious and annoying.
Worst pet ever.
It really is.
When I was a kid, I was like, I'm obviously going to have like a decent amount of parrots in my house. Like I just thought they were cool.
Yeah.
I teach one Spanish, one English,
one French. Yeah. I mean, you don't really teach them anything. They just mimic what they hear. I mean, you could teach them.
I think there's ways to teach them shit.
Sure, of course. But I mean, you really want to teach a bird? Why not get a dog and teach a dog a trick?
Dude, I was working on this crummy show for Animal Planet, and there's this woman who was super into birds.
Yeah.
She was hoarding birds, and she had this like cockatoo or some sort of. If you send another text, I'm going to kill you. Put your phone away. Who are you texting? Nifty, who is it? Is it your girlfriend?
No, it's not. Listen,
who is it?
I know you made the...
Put the phone down. I don't sit there with my phone. I don't even know where mine is
You
right
made
now.
the conscious decision to not have your computer. So now all of a sudden there's all this aggression because you're just staring right at me the whole time.
I'm trying to maintain eye contact like a human being communicates.
You've never, ever... You haven't done it once, ever in the entire history of the podcast.
Just because when people talk to you, you stare at your feet because you're ashamed of your fat face and your dead tooth... doesn't mean that you can't at least engage on a one-on-one level with some...
All right, go ahead. I'm sorry. I apologize.
This woman had this cockatoo that she had had for 30 years. You are so fidgety.
Snooze fest.
She'd had this cockatoo for 30 years, and one day she just like went into the cage to like grab it, and it just bit her finger off. For no reason.
Is that your ma? Did that happen to your mother?
No, my mom doesn't.
I just imagine your mom being
four
like
cockatoos.
I just imagine her being like a kook.
They don't have any pets.
Is your ma a kook?
No, they don't have any pets.
But is she a kook?
No, I wish.
You know what I mean by kook, right?
And yes, and total opposite. My mom's
really.
My mom's
very
like
well mannered,
like very square.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'm comfortable saying that because she doesn't know how to use the internet, so I know she'll never hear this.
I put a joke out online on Facebook the other day. It said, trust equals two cannibals sucking each other's dick.
That's pretty good.
And one of my ma's friends chatted me later that night when I was wasted, and she goes, me and your mom liked your joke. And I had no idea what she was talking about, obviously. And I was like, what joke? And she's like, about the cannibals. And I was like, oh my God, seriously?
How old is your poor mother?
She's like 63 or 64.
She must be so ashamed of your bullshit.
Well, the other thing is I just said, God help me if she ever listens to the podcast. That's what I told her friend.
Oh, really?
Well, I mean, I was drunk and I was like, I probably shouldn't.
I realized that on the last podcast, I was talking about how terrible of a cook my mom was.
Yeah.
And like she prides herself. I'm just rolling the dice that she's not going to hear this.
Yeah. No, I mean, I did the same thing. I talked about, but I think we recovered because we were talking about how much we loved, like, even though the food is shitty and terrible and normal people wouldn't like it, Like,
Yeah.
it gives us a feeling of home.
Although
when we-
you gave your mom credit for a dish, I think I just said that she buys a lot of cheese.
cheese and Coors Light.
Yeah, it's not exactly cuisine.
Cuisinery.
It's not exactly cooking. It's funny, we were a bunch of dudes that none of us are really friends anymore, but we're all on Facebook. We all used to walk the same route home from elementary school and got into like this Facebook conversation that ended up with like 200 comments about this crummy candy store that was just in an old woman's basement. It was called Mary's Store.
Yeah.
It wasn't a store. It was, you went down into the basement of an old woman's house, and there was like a table about the size of this desk with really old candy that she just handled with her hands. And so everything, so like Swedish fish was a good thing if you only had like 10 cents.
Yeah, yeah.
So her system
Old
was
Swedish
she just
fish.
charged 1 cent tax on every item, like rather than figuring out tax. So like on a 50-cent Snickers bar, you pay 1 cent tax, or on a 2-cent Swedish fish, you also pay 1 cent tax.
So it evened out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then she would get furious if you tried to buy anything but candy.
What else was there?
There was like, she had like a whole aisle of like condensed milk and toilet paper. And I just remember her screaming at us because we were like goofing around in the condensed milk aisle.
I don't think she hated that if people tried to buy the thing. I think she just hated you little
Yeah,
assholes.
because she knew it was a
fucking around.
joke.
Yeah.
But
Trying
I
to
remember,
buy condensed milk.
one time she screamed at us, "You know, by condensed milk, you buy Rainbow."
Wait, so she was she foreign?
Yeah, she was like a Polish. So my friend's mom, because we were like, she's the oldest woman I've ever seen. All of her fingers pointed in different directions. Like if I had to guess, I would say she was 170.
Wow. Wow.
But my friend's mom was like, when I was a kid, she was like 100. But I think she was like originally from Poland.
Uh-huh. So wait, the candy shop clerk was the old woman from Poland, is what you're saying?
Yeah, she owned it. She lived upstairs. So whenever you would go in, there would be no one there, and you would hear her clomping around upstairs, and then she would slowly make her way down the steps.
It legitimately sounds like a scene out of a movie. Like
It's not far off of being like the scene out of a horror film. If the hills have eyes.
And
Her son lived with her and was like the security guard, and he was like probably 78. So like, if he thought we were giving her a hard time, you'd hear him running down the stairs, and he would be like, "Hey, get out of here!" He was super old too.
So it's really, really just like you're talking 70s Bronx kind of shit going on here. Like,
essentially, except it was early 90s Oswego, New York.
Oh man!
But this all started because one guy posted that he was like hurriedly decided that he wanted to buy a candy bar.
Yeah.
And he like looked down and saw the Baby Ruth, and he just grabbed one and like paid. The story has a lot of holes in it, but he said that he got to his car and then realized he had bought a Three Musketeers. And he didn't even eat it because obviously that's a shit candy bar.
Nah, I mean, come on.
You think Three Musketeers is decent?
No, I don't like any of them. I'm
What
not
would
a big
you
candy bar eater?
I don't.
Snickers.
I haven't eaten a candy bar in 10 years, but what would you rank them?
A Three Musketeers?
No, what's your like top three?
Snickers.
Yeah, that's I mean, can't go wrong.
Payday. Next.
Is that the one that's just a cluster of peanuts covered in something?
In chocolate and caramel. And
is it covered in chocolate?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Butterfinger.
Yeah, but see, Butterfinger's
in fact,
my one.
Butterfinger's 2 for me. It's not 3. It's above Payday.
You're gonna bump Payday on. Yeah, Payday's on my list of don't eat. That's a terrible idea. What's the one that's just peanuts caked together with rock hard honey that has no chocolate over it?
That might be Payday.
I think it is. I don't think there's any chocolate.
In
fact,
like I said, I'm not big on candy
Payday
bars.
might be the worst one.
You know what I always hated was Bit of Honey.
First of all, why were you even around these things? Bit-O Honey is only designed for perverts in white vans.
No, and Halloween. The poor people on Halloween.
Yeah, I'd rather get a penny. I'd rather have a penny in my sack.
Yeah.
Did you go out with a sack, or did you use the orange pumpkin?
No, it was a pillowcase every time.
Same.
Filled to the brim.
Brimmed it?
No.
Would
I mean,
you go out at
obviously
3
not to the
p.m.?
brim.
Yeah, you can't fill a pillowcase.
Oh, I could fill a pillowcase.
I was always pillowcase, but I was always like, kind of like, yeah, this is better because you can fit more shit. But I was always slightly jealous of the kids who used the orange pumpkin.
No, fucking nerd, lame.
It is nerd.
It's real nerdy. I mean,
yeah,
but
that was what the rich kids used.
Dude, what was the worst candy for me? What was your worst candy at Halloween?
For Halloween?
Yeah.
It's funny, Bit-O Honey. I always got a Bit-O Honey. I hated, and it's a valid candy, but I hated sugar daddies.
Oh, really?
Bro, every time I did one, I had to go to the
Wow.
dentist.
That's really fucking unfortunate.
A lot of teeth lost in sugar daddies.
No, yeah, I mean it's just pure. It's caramelized sugar. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Like it's just.
We had we rented our house, and the old people that owned the house lived like 4 houses down.
Yeah,
and you kind of had to go there because they were old and they like to see all the people in the neighborhood. But they gave out little Bible scripture cards.
Oh man,
No candy, no money.
So I mean,
And then my friend Owen's mom gave out 15 cents
that's a lot of money.
every year, a dime and a nickel.
What?
Like she obviously like made probably a whole day out of going to the bank and pre-separating
Yeah.
out a shitload of dimes and nickels. But every year for like 10 years, 15 cents.
Yeah. You want to know what mine was? My least favorite.
Yeah.
You know those? What are those caramel candy things with the white center?
Oh, I don't even know what those are called.
Hate them.
Really?
Like I can't.
I
believe...
kind of like the white center.
Oh, they're so gross. Like I see them in candy dishes, and I'm like, why is that even available now?
Are you hanging out in a lot of nursing homes?
No, there's a
Where
candy.
are you going that there are all these candy dishes
First
full
of
of
all,
caramels?
you work in the same building as me, and you know very well that there's candy dish.
Oh, they do have those.
There's
Yeah, you're
multiple candy dishes.
right. That's not the worst candy. Those things are kind of good. The white stuff makes them.
You're out of your fucking mind.
You know what's a terrible candy is Charleston Chew.
yeah. I've never even attempted one.
Oh, I would always get them because they were so big. Because they were really long, remember?
And when you're a kid, really, that's what you're going for.
You're just like, how long can I eat this thing for?
Yeah, that's what priests are banking on.
Yeah, that with their pockets full of Bit-O Honeys.
No, those are too small.
Yeah, Charleston Chews are just terrible. It's a bad product.
No, the priests carry around candy corns because those are the best Halloween candy that exists.
Yo, no joke. Candy corns are awesome.
100%. I
Yeah.
can eat a whole fucking bag.
Yeah, they're really good.
The texture, the weird texture of them.
Because you don't. My style with the candy corn is I'll pop like 4 to 5 in at once. I don't eat one at a time. Mm-hmm. 4 to 5.
Same.
Like 4 chews, so where it's still like in your mouth.
Yeah.
And then just suck on it for a little bit.
Yeah.
And it'll dissolve.
And it's like it's such a weird. I don't
They're
even know.
so. God damn it! I could kill for some candy corns right now.
What are they made out of? What could that be? Like,
Well, I think it's just corn.
do you think it's just corn and sugar?
Of course not. It's literally pure sugar wrapped in wax.
You wanna know-
But remember the Indian corns?
Yeah, Indian corns. I used to.
The candy corns were the orange and white. The Indian corns were the orange and browns.
Oh! I thought you were talking about actual Indian corn.
No.
No, I
We
don't-
called the orange and brown ones Indian corn. They're not as good as the candy corn.
No, I don't. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, well, I think everyone listening does.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. They were very common.
You know what I heard about me and you is that we sound so similar on air that people get confused as to. So sometimes it's like we're just arguing with ourselves.
But don't they pick up on your ludicrous Midwestern accent when you say words like technical and you pronounce them technical?
Technical. I don't do that. Technical. Technical. Listen,
You're literally saying technical.
technical.
It's technical.
Do me a favor and say red leather, yellow leather 3 times.
I'm not
quickly.
going to do this.
Do it.
But why?
Just do it.
That's what people want to listen to?
No, because that will give them something that'll allow them to participate as well.
Red leather, yellow leather. Red leather, yellow leather. Red leather, yellow leather.
No,
Yeah,
you're like a
tongue
robot.
twisters.
You're like a robot.
I'm immune to tongue twisting.
No, do it 10 times.
No, I'll do it off camera.
All right, you're off. I paused it. I paused it.
I know that you don't have the clapper hooked up to your computer.
Red leather, yellow leather. You got to sing it with a beat.
We're not doing this. This is the worst podcast ever. Did you get a voicemail?
Oh, yeah, I got a voicemail. Perfect.
Jesus Christ, your memory is about... Good Lord.
I legit think you're in the early phases of Alzheimer's right now.
Play the voicemail.
Oh, hey guys, it's Jason from Oceanside. I was just calling in to ask you a simple question. What's your take on the foie gras ban? According to the news, ban's going into effect July 1st for foie gras sales in California. And personally, I mean, I'm a huge fan of foie gras. Originally from Chicago, I've seen the ban go into effect and then lifted a year or two later. Yeah. And, it's a terrible thing. It's inhumane to animals, but what do you guys think? Just let me know. Thanks.
I think the deal with foie gras, for anyone who doesn't know what it is, it's a fatty goose liver, and the reason they banned it is because they shove plugs up a goose's ass and force feed it, and it makes their liver get really fatty and really delicious.
Mm-hmm. Have you had it now?
Only once at Kumsa.
So you have had it, and is it really good?
So I'm down for anything. I will eat. I love trying weird shit. I ate a live shrimp the other day.
Yeah.
Because Fat Justin made me and foie gras. I wanted to love it.
Yeah.
Texture wasn't for me.
Okay.
Here's the problem with the ban. It's a goose. You know, it's hard to... I love animals. I just think it's a goose. Like, I look at a goose, I go, that's an animal that would love to peck my fucking eyes out for no good reason.
Sure, I just saw a video.
They're shitty animals.
I just saw a video of an innocent guy kayaking. Just an innocent young gentleman, early 20s, and a goose literally just hops on the back of his head and starts biting him, and he flips him over.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah, he flipped over. I'm just like, oh my God.
Yeah, geese are nasty little fucks.
They're real fucking aggressive.
It's interesting, though, that...
Well, so you're saying that you also disagree with the ban because you think that all geese should have their assholes plugged and food punched down their throat.
I just think, like, let's pick our battles here. If we want to figure out ways to make food more humane, like, let's take a look at the way that they're slaughtering millions and billions of cows.
It's a good point.
Let's not worry about, like, the 3,000 goose that are having an uncomfortable shit.
Hold on. Did you just say the 3,000 goose?
Gooses. The 3,000 goose.
Is that like moose? Now, is that like moose? Is that why you assume?
The plural of moose is meese.
And the plural of goose is goose.
It's just goose, yeah.
Okay, all right. I was wondering about that.
Well, yeah, but...
No, I mean,
But this guy loves foie gras.
Yeah, I mean...
He's spending like 70% of his income on foie gras.
It sounds to me like...
he's putting it on pizza.
Jason from Oceanside is really... He must be like in the culinary arts or something, because that's a weird question to get on an alcohol-related podcast.
Well, here's the thing.
It's not a food-related podcast.
Well, he's clearly fired up about it.
It's true.
He probably... You know what it is? I think that he's... My guess is that he's a sous chef at a fine dining restaurant trying to work his way up. And he's like, foie gras is like his favorite protein.
Like his signature dish.
He's like, this is what's going to get me noticed.
That could be. Jason, if you're listening,
and by the
tweet
way,
us, hit us up.
And if you do work at a restaurant, we'd love to come in and have a free meal. So with, the booze comped too, please. So.
Yes, definitely the booze.
We had a fun limo ride on Wednesday, didn't we?
Yeah, it was nice.
You felt so out of place because you've never been in one before, had you?
No, I've been in limos.
Really? Party buses aren't limos though, so
they're better. But I've been in both.
When were you in a limo? When you didn't get invited to prom? When were you in a limo?
Did you go to prom?
No.
Okay, so
I was invited.
You were invited.
I might not have been.
No, I. When was the last time I was in a limo? I'm trying to think. It's been a while.
Hey, so I don't know that you've been in. I don't think you've been in a limo.
I'm trying. Yes, I've been in a limo.
If you're trying
to
think so hard, that means no. That you
it hasn't. I mean, it's only been a few. It's been
dreams
a few,
that you've had where you're in a limo.
It's been a few times. A few. Why? I mean, so what's the? Where are you going with this? Are you on your phone over there? I'm gonna do a text too.
Fuge.
Fuge.
What happened to Fuge?
I asked him if he wanted to come tonight. He said you guys have been doing podcasts behind my back, were his exact words.
Was he joking?
No, I don't know. I don't know with that guy.
Did Fuge feel like we betrayed him?
I think so. I mean, he just I edited the last two myself. No help from you.
But did you ask Fuge if he would edit them?
Even though, what the fuck is that? Oh, he said. It's a piece of lime.
Oh my god!
It's just like a soft, squishy.
You just drank a drink that's got half a lime squeezed into it and reacted as if a worm had climbed into your mouth when you got a piece of lime touched your lip.
Well, no, it's because I was eating a piece of chocolate cake today. You saw that cake at work, did you?
Oh, the flourless chocolate cake?
Yeah, so
I did not have any, by the way.
So I'm eating it, and swear to God, there's like a piece of meat in it. A small sliver of meat.
No.
I swear to God.
What kind of meat?
Gross, soggy meat that was already soaked by my saliva before I fucking could look at it.
There's no way it was meat. There's no way it was meat in the cake.
I'll tell you what. It's in my backpack in a jar.
The meat?
Yeah, the meat.
Roy, what are you thinking about doing with it? Suing?
No, I knew you wouldn't believe me, so let me just grab it.
Wait, did you really bring it home?
No, I didn't.
I mean, wait.
Yeah, I brought it home.
Wait, so explain yourself. You're eating a flourless chocolate cake at about 2 p.m., which is a fat move, but sure.
It was actually about 2. No, yeah, and then so I just like there was something like, there was a weird textured, a weird piece of textured something that wasn't cake, and I into the napkin, and it was like clearly a small piece of meat.
How does meat get into a cake? I mean, here's the thing.
I'd like to know where that cake came from.
It came from Sweet Lady Jane.
Is that a actual place?
It's like a place where you get like a $150 cake for someone.
And how could there be meat in a $150 cake?
Well, no, here's what I'm saying. I don't think that meat's an ingredient that they even carry. So the only thing I can think of is that the person making the cake was eating their lunch. Someone told a funny joke and they spit a little piece of steak out.
That's like legitimately the kind of meat that I pulled out of my mouth. It was like chewed up meat that somebody spit out.
Like someone was eating the Subway steak melt. They spit a little meat into the batter. Next thing you know, it's in your mouth, infesting you. Why don't you play another voicemail?
All right, I got one more voicemail.
I thought you said you had 4 more.
One more to play that we have time for. I think you might be familiar with this one.
Yeah, dude. Neil wiped out on his bike. He's in the hospital right now. Give me a call back. I'm not sure, what his health insurance situation is or whatever, but it's not good, dude. Call me back as soon as you can, okay? Later.
So, well, that was you.
It did sound a little bit like me.
And that was a voicemail that you had sent me when I was back in Chicago for a wedding, and you sent that to me at 4 a.m. my time there. And so I woke up to that voicemail saying, and it says what did you say in that voicemail?
I think I was saying that your roommate, Neil, had wiped out on his bike. He's in the hospital, and I didn't know his health insurance situation, so please call me back.
And I think you said it's not good, dude. So
okay,
walk me through what you were thinking when you did that.
Well, I called you. You heartlessly ignored my call.
It was like 3 a.m. there, 4 a.m. there.
But it was only 2 here.
Okay.
And so
you heartlessly called me, not with disregard to time for other human beings again.
So you heartlessly ignored the call, and then so I decided to fuck with you, knowing that you would know it was bullshit. And then you, rather than going through the normal process of vetting,
I called several people. Nobody
you called
was up.
No one. I had no missed calls from you.
I texted you 3 times. I called you.
Didn't have them.
I mean, the only thing I stopped on was calling your girlfriend, because I knew if you were lying that you would be mad and you'd be like, "Why are you calling my girlfriend, bro? I don't want her knowing things. That's just how it is. I don't want her knowing shit."
It's that you bother her. That's what it is.
What do you mean?
You use her to get to me, so you'll bother her while she's at work, and she's like, "No, I'm at work. Leave me alone."
So, all right, I
never said I don't want
I could go off. I could go off for hours about how that's just ridiculous. But
the bottom line is, you then went and notified Neil's family. Why didn't you just call Neil?
I called him several times. I texted him. I said, and then I finally texted him, and I said, "Yo," I was like, "I don't know if he's fucking around. If you guys are fucking with me." But if I don't get a text back within 20 minutes, I'm going to have to call your sister and see what the deal is. And I expected that to get a response if he was indeed not in the hospital, and I still didn't get one. So
because his phone was off, and then
I called him 10 times. There's no way he slept through them all. No way.
Oh, it was ringing?
Yeah,
he claimed his phone was off.
No.
whatever. You guys are idiots.
What? How are we idiots? How are we idiots?
Because
you made the whole thing up.
Because you guys do this shit to me all the time.
Never once have I ever done any of this. You know what? And you called me yesterday at 11 o'clock p.m. and you said, bro, you got to come into work because there's a huge mess that you got to deal with, and I just don't trust the other people to do it, and we got to get this done, and it's fucked up. And then
it worked well. It was nice. I could hear how bummed you were over the phone.
Well, for a
even though I knew that
second,
you were slightly disbelieving, but I knew that you were like, this might be real. I might have to put some pants on for the first time all day.
It was so poorly thought out by you. Like, my next call was just a call to the person you said had dropped the ball.
But also, that should have been your next call with the Neil thing, and you actually believed that.
I called 6 people with the Neil thing. Every one of his friends here.
And by the way, that might have happened yesterday, and you might have went into work, and it would have been hilarious.
No, it never would have happened because I'm smarter than that.
I'll tell you what those 2 calls had in common. Both of
An
those
asshole.
calls was
An
just,
asshole
was just
made 'em.
me walking home from a bar bored. That's what both of those were.
Okay, well, I'm glad you can at least admit that you have no respect for other human beings.
Yeah.
Not with time.
I can definitely
not with
admit
feelings. Not with feelings. Did Goose?
You just said, I'm glad you can admit that you...
Goose?
What?
Is it goose or is it geese?
Goose.
Or is it gooses?
Yeah, I don't know.
Geeses?
It's a little bit of a weird callback.
I thought it was interesting, though, that you were talking about... Or were we talking about geese after the foie gras call?
After the foie gras call.
Foie gras.
Oh, you thought it was...
No.
What is... Dude, speaking of early onset dementia...
You have it, yeah.
You might have...
So,
Any gay.
this really has... I've hated this podcast.
Your energy was bad earlier. You even admitted that. We'll mix it.
I admitted that your energy was bad.
You piece of shit. In the kitchen, you said you needed to pick it up because you had bad energy.
I picked it up the second I got in front of the mic because that's what I do.
Chuck Martin next week.
Chuck Martin.
And then the weekend after that.
At Mr. Chuck Martin on Twitter.
And then Nick Swartzen's going to do the one after that.
Is he?
Yeah.
Have you confirmed?
Yeah, he's confirmed.
Oh, Bucky. Bucky
that'll be
Lasik. What's that movie?
It's not Bucky Lasik. That's a
I
skateboarder.
know.
You
Bucky.
fucking piece of Chicago shit trash.
Good night,
Good night, everybody.